Hey everyone, welcome back. And this is a manga chapter review of Attack on Titan. It's chapter 63. It's been a while since I've done one of these. I think I've done like 2 or 3 of these in the past, and it has definitely been a while. So I'm really glad to be doing this. I'm hoping that I can keep doing this. I mean, it's only one review a month for Attack on Titan. I think I can hopefully manage that, okay? Seriously, so yeah. But anyways though, this month's chapter of Attack on Titan was very interesting. Like always, there's a lot of stuff that happens. I think for me at least though, the most significant thing is actually the conversation between Historia, or not conversation, but the scene with Historia, her father, and Eren. Okay, so I'll get to that in just a sec. First off, I just want to say Zackley is one sick motherfucker. Okay, he really is, because he is literally torturing this poor guy. I don't even remember who this guy is. I was half asleep while reading the chapter. I read it a couple times, but still. But I don't think that's too significant, though. But either way, though, alright, he's torturing this poor guy by sticking a tube up his ass and making him feed from it. Am I fucked up that I'm actually smiling at that? I mean, I guess the reason I kind of like it in a way is because I love when Attack on Titan gets brutal and dark and twisted. I really do. Because it really, well, first off, it really makes me question why the series is in a fucking shonen magazine. Because, I mean, this is almost berserk level of torture here, you know what I mean? I mean, not quite, but from what I heard, it is close to it, alright? And just goes to show that Zackley's a really sick-ass motherfucker. And that because of that, he'll probably end up dying later on in the manga, in the series. But anyways, though, so now let's get to what I feel is the most significant scene in the entire chapter, which is the scene, or the multiple scenes spread out here and there throughout the manga, mainly at the beginning and at the end, put together, which is obviously from the end of the last chapter, Eren still chained up, being ready to be tortured, and Historia, along with her father, ready to administer the torture. Okay, now, there's something here that I don't quite understand, okay? First off, Historia's father at first told her that her sister is dead, that her entire family is dead. I'll get to I'll say exactly how right now. Basically, it was Grisha, who's Eren's father, who's a Titan Shifter, confirmed Titan Shifter. Now, this has been kind of obvious in previous chapters, but it's confirmed now he was a Titan Shifter, and he actually killed Historia's entire family, save for her father, who somehow managed to escape. Okay. And her sister apparently was a Titan Shifter as well, and Grisha ate her sister in order to gain her power. In order to gain her power, basically. Okay. That's the story that Historia's father tells Historia. Now, first off, I have to say, how the fuck did he survive? How the fuck did he get away? To me, that sounds really fucking suspicious, okay? It sounds like he's bullshitting her in some way. It really does. I have to be perfectly fucking honest with you here. It really does to me, okay? So, yeah, but either way, though. So basically, I didn't quite understand the end of the chapter at first. I mean, I understand it some, but I didn't understand it completely. And after my second read through, I actually clued into it. But what the scene was is that her father was holding up like a shot to give to Historia, and obviously Eren freaked the fuck out, and I understood why. Okay, I understood why. I understood at least that part of it, which is that's probably a shot to turn her into a Titan Shifter. the same one that Aaron's father gave to him when Aaron was really young. Okay, so obviously he has a right to freak the fuck out, okay? But what I didn't clue in on before, and I actually did now, and I think is going to be the case, is that he's probably going to have Historia eat Aaron to get her sister's power back. Okay. And the way that would work, I think, is because I think that Aaron's father killed Historia's family, including her sister, before Aaron became a Titan Shifter. And then after he gave him Aaron that shot included the power. And I think Historia's father knows something about this. Okay, which is why he's going to have Historia eat Aaron as basically his death sentence in order to get that power back for her. Okay. That's what I think is going to go down. In order to actually understand that part and craft that theory, it took my second read through of the chapter, but yeah. Damn. Oh my god. So that's why that's probably the most significant part of the chapter to me, because it's so huge. And the chapter ends basically the same area anyways, where it ended the last chapter ended, with Aaron being tortured, chained up and tortured, except this time around he's freaking the fuck out, and again, rightfully so, okay. So other than that kind of like concept in this chapter, there are other things in this chapter. First off, we get a conversation between Mikasa and Levi. And apparently Zackley, I don't know if we just learned it this chapter or we learned it a few chapters ago. I honestly don't remember for sure. But Zackley's last name is Ackerman, and we already learned a few chapters ago that Levi's last name is also Ackerman. Okay. So, now one thing I kind of disappointed with in terms of Levi is that he didn't really discuss in depth with Mikasa about possibility of Zackley being related to her. I mean, he does bring it up, but he doesn't discuss it with her in depth. In fact, he says that he didn't even learn his full name until just a little while ago, which is, even though he lived with him for quite a while, which is kind of weird. And he doesn't even ask her about the possibility that the two of them might be related by blood. Okay. Because, I mean, Ackerman doesn't seem like it'd be a pretty common name, even in Japan. So it's like, you know what I mean. We also learned a little bit more about Mikasa, that her family was basically ridiculed because her mother was Asian. Asians were always ridiculed and outcast and persecuted and whatnot. And her family was actually persecuted in the streets, which is why she's the only Oriental or Asian left. Okay, in the entire series, supposedly. Okay, obviously though, because the Asians, her mother, I believe, was the Ackermans. Wait, no, that wouldn't make much sense, because if her mother's side was the Ackermans, then that would mean that Levi and Zackley wouldn't be able to be alive if she's the only Asian left. So her father's side must have been the Ackermans. Yeah, I think that's how it was explained. Her father's side's the Ackermans, her mother's side was not. Okay. Which is kind of weird, because I believe in Japan, when a couple gets married, the husband takes on the wife's last name. So, but either way, though, it doesn't really matter, I guess. I mean, I would think that the wife would be the Ackerman, so that then, even if Levi and Zackley were related to her by blood, it would have to be from the father's side, but so their last names wouldn't be Ackerman. But either way, that's kind of irrelevant. I mean, not all anime stories have to really do that, you know what I mean? So it's kind of irrelevant, I think. But either way, though, I just thought I'd mention it real quick. So there was also that conversation. And other than that, that's pretty much all that happened in this chapter. Okay, so overall, I thought this was a pretty good episode, a pretty decent episode of Attack on Titan. It wasn't one of my favorites, but the ending alone makes me eagerly await the next chapter next month, okay, in December, because that fucking ending was so like suspenseful. It was a huge fucking cliffhanger. Maybe not as huge as say last week's. Actually, you know what? No, I think this last week's. You know, I think this month's cliffhanger is actually bigger than last month's cliffhanger. And okay, because simply because of what it presented there with the whole thing with Historia about to get a shot from her father, which will probably turn her into a Titan shifter so she can eat fucking Eren. Like, yeah, it's a pretty huge fucking cliffhanger, a pretty douchey fucking cliffhanger, okay? Like, it really is. But I love this month's chapter of Attack on Titan. If you have yet to see this month's chapter of Attack on Titan, then I definitely recommend that you do. Okay, I cannot wait for next month's chapter. It's getting really fucking good. Okay, so yeah. But anyways, overall, hope you enjoyed this review, guys. These after guys, thank you for watching. Bye bye.